Hi everyone, I'm Melanie of Art Studio 320. Welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. If you haven't subscribed yet, please take a moment to press that red button and don't forget to ring the bell so that you will be notified every time I post a new video. Today's video is super cool. I am really excited about this one because it really gave me a chance to get creative. And yes, there were problems. Of course there were. But that's the cool part about refinishing furniture, because it's all about problem solving, and it's good for your brain, man. So stick around and see how it all comes out. There's drama, there is problem solving, there is suspense and cliffhangers. Yeah. Stick around. It's a new project, baby. This project is a dresser that belonged to my dad and my mom. I think my mom used it. I think they traded off. I haven't decided whether to keep the hardware or not, because believe it or not, the sound of it, when you pull out the drawer, they kind of jingle. It makes a noise that takes me back. So I may not be able to get rid of them, but I think I'm gonna clean them up, paint them, and I think they'll look really cool. I think it's time to get started. I'm starting with an 80 grit sandpaper. I'm excited to try out my new Bosch random orbit sander today. First thing I need to do is pop up the hardware, and thankfully it's easy. Check that out. That was fast. I gotta take the hardware off. I forgot. Taking a little time to get used to. This is crazy. It has a mind of its own, so I'm gonna have to learn how to control it. It could be because this drawer is so skinny and hard to control and tall. I don't know, it might look kind of cool painting around this and then staining here. I can hear in my head my dad saying, "What are you painting that for?" And there's part of me that feels really weird painting furniture that is real wood. I think this is my way of making peace with it in my own head and for my folks. Oh, okay, there's a 120. Oh, good, cool. My other new tool is a Ryobi corner cat finisher, also known as a mouse. Go figure. It's a sander. You'll notice that there is a box inside of the drawer. That gave me some leverage, some weight inside so that the drawer wouldn't rock around. That was kind of why I was having trouble in the beginning with my Bosch. You'll notice that there is a big chunk missing out of the corner of that drawer. So I'm going to use this plastic wood that I've used before to create a new corner. And because I messed with it, it came apart. And I had to take it all off and sand it down and put it back on again. This is the paint that I'm using today. It's called Piece of Cake. Don't eat it. I'll show you the inside. See it? This is the first time I'm using this Country Chic chalk paint, and I wanted to add some water because it was very thick. The brush I'm using is a zebra triangle brush, which is perfect for the edges of these drawers. And I have another drawer that needs a few repairs. I am finished for the day. I'm working on fixing the corner on one of the drawers. I fixed it 3 times. The third time, I'm going to let it dry overnight because I think I sanded it before it was dry and it broke off, so that's not good. I have a little more sanding to do, but yeah, I should finish the drawers up tomorrow morning, hopefully. I shouldn't say that because every time I say stuff like that, and then I'm gonna decide what I'm gonna do with the drawers, because I'm not sure whether I want to stain them, because I was going to stain them quite dark because I really kind of like them natural. So we'll see about that. So I'm going to quit talking. I've already washed my brush. I only used one, and yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Good night. Good morning. I will be working on the drawers today, finishing those up, and then starting on the body of the dresser. I've got some fun surprises in store for the dresser, so stick around for that, and let's get started. I need to sand this corner gently and shape it as well so it matches the other corners. It's not bad. It's all about illusion, folks. Not perfection. No, it looks good. The trick with the plastic wood is to sand gently and slowly. I use vinegar and water to clean off any dirt on the drawers before I start painting. I will continue. This is the second coat now that I'm on. And then I will go to the big body of the dresser. After I was finished painting, I easily sanded all the spots that I hit with the paint. I'm ready to start the body of the dresser. I'm going to be sanding the outside frame of the side, and then I have something really cool for the center. So I'm not going to tell you yet, but I will tell you this. Can you see this? It says 10/5/49. That's when my folks bought this. That's kind of cool. I started with the respirator because I'm used to a ton of dust, but this Bosch sander really wasn't too bad. I tried to stay up on all the sawdust by vacuuming as I went along. It is day 2 in the afternoon. The drawers are finished except the application of the hemp oil. I'm going to use hemp oil. It's a natural ingredient. It's food safe, so if you have a cutting board or something like that that's all dried out, you can use the hemp oil to bring it back to life. Hemp oil is not something that's going to be permanent. It will last a few years, but it is a nice alternative. I want to see how it looks. It's going to darken the wood a little bit, and that's what I want to do because I've decided to leave the natural wood parts of my piece natural. So all I'm going to do to them is put the hemp oil on them and then see how it looks. I'm excited because I think it's going to look really cool. And the center of the sides will be painted with something a little bit extra, but I'm not going to reveal that yet. Big cliffhanger. I'll see you at the end of the day. One more round of vacuuming and using a Tack Cloth and a little bit of mineral spirits to get rid of some of the paint where it didn't belong. I also have one tiny repair in the corner, and I use some more plastic wood for that. Now it's time for the Country Chic hemp oil. I'm going to pour it into just a lid, and I'm using a sponge that I have. And all I'm doing is just wiping it on. Since I have the time, I think I'm going to wait to do the rest of the piece just because it feels super dark, and I don't know if I want it to be that dark. In the meantime, I still have the body to work on. I had to wait for it to dry. but now I'm going to turn it on its side. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do to the sides. This is what came in the mail today. It is paintable wallpaper. And I am going to put it right there. I measured the space where the wallpaper was going to go, and then I measured the wallpaper and cut it to size. This wallpaper needed wallpaper paste, so I cleaned the surface with my vinegar and water, and then I proceeded to put the paste on the back, and then I put the wallpaper on the wood. You had to shift it to get it just right, but I also used a spreader, and it stretched a lot. Because it stretched a lot, I had a lot of extra wallpaper, so I needed to trim that. That little spot that I had to repair, I needed to sand and repaint. I'm using a 3/4 inch nap roller to roll out the wallpaper so I can get into all of the little embossed areas. I did a lot today. This is cool. I am very excited about the prospects of what I can do with paintable wallpaper. I am really digging that. But I'll probably work on the hardware tomorrow. All right. See you tomorrow. Good morning. I did some research this morning because this is how this looks. Well, after 12 plus hours. You know, it's funny, Country Chic tutorial says 12 hours. Wait 12 hours before you wipe the hemp oil. Well, the hemp oil was pretty much soaked in. I did get a little bit off, but most of it was soaked in. And other people, I've watched videos where they say 15 minutes or wipe it off right away. I'm wondering if that would have made a difference in the dark tone of the wood. I don't know. It certainly wouldn't have, it would have made a difference as to how far down it soaked into the wood. Because I tried sanding it this morning to see if I could lighten it up. Just my block sander, my 60 grit block sander, and it didn't do a thing. It took the wood off, but it was still dark underneath, which means it really soaked into the wood, which is what it's supposed to do. But this particular color, it's darker than I had wanted it. Typical. I'm never happy. Anyway, so I took my electric sander and I sanded some on this one here. And I don't know if you can tell, but it is a little lighter. I'm going to do it a little bit more, then I'm going to do it to the rest. What I do like is that the paint color came back. It turned gray when it was wet, and I was a little worried because, I mean, it's gray, but it has some red tones in it to make it look a little more brown. I love this color, so I didn't want to lose that. All right, let's go. In spite of having 2 coats on the wallpaper, it still had some spots I needed to touch up. I'm using Dixie Belle's Big Mama's Butta on the side of the dresser to see if the color will be better than the hemp oil. It was not for what I wanted to do, so I'm sanding it off. After starting with the 80 grit sandpaper, I changed to the 120 to just smooth it out a bit more. What a day. One of the things that I thought about doing was just watering down Country Chic piece of cake color that I used here, and just watering it way down so I could just wash it on the wood. And this is what I want. Now, my dilemma was what do I finish it with? What do I cover it with to protect it? And I thought, well, I can't put wax on it, not the wax that I was using, because it was going to turn it yellow again. And I couldn't use Mama's Big Butta, Big Mama's Butta, because it would turn it orange, because this is just natural wood. But for what I want, for this project, I wanted something light. So I am going to use white wax to finish it. I may mix it with just clear wax. I don't know, maybe. That's not a bad idea. All right, so that's where I'm at. So I'm going to get this ball rolling. I'm using a clean rag to wipe on the watered down version of the Country Chic piece of cake. And it's showing up translucent, just like I wanted it to. Now I'm going to cover the top with the same formula. It's mostly water with a little bit of paint. In my tray, I have about a tablespoon of paint, and I'm going to add between maybe a quarter cup, maybe a third a cup of water. Of course, this is all preference. This is just how you want it. If you want it a little bit more opaque, more paint, then add less water or add more paint. And there was some paint on the bottom, so I stirred it up a little bit more. That should be good. That last round I didn't have enough paint, but now I've stirred it up and it looks just right. I'm putting some Big Mama's Butta on the wallpaper because I want something to protect the paint. And once it dries, it'll be just fine. Now it's time to add the Country Chic hemp oil to the painted areas of the drawers. It looks nice on the top. I apologize. I thought you could. I thought my camera was on, and it wasn't. I'm using some clear wax and white wax together. I don't know that it's doing anything, but it makes me feel better. It's finally time to clean up the hardware with some vinegar and water and spray paint it with some Rustoleum silver. It has been quite a ride today. So this is the one side that's finished, and I put Big Mama's Butta on the, I wonder if I'll ever be able to say that without laughing. I put that on the wallpaper here in the center because I wanted to protect the paint, and I felt like that would be easier to do than the hemp oil. Either one I'm sure would have worked, but the hemp oil it probably would have soaked in more, and the Big Mama's Butta just kind of gives it a coating, a protective coating. Does that make sense? Anyway, because I didn't need to improve the health of the wallpaper. See you tomorrow. Good morning. It's not in terms of furniture. The hemp oil that I put on the edges of the drawer, do you see the bleed right here? Some of the other, on all of the drawers, it's worse. I think what happened was I put the hemp oil on and the wood soaks up the oil somewhere where I didn't put it. Well, I'm going to try waxing it first to see if that covers it up. My guess is it won't, which means then I'm going to have to resand rewash the drawers. So, son of a. I'll check in later. All right, this is one of the spots. You see the bleed? Man. All right, I'm gonna try and wax it and see what happens. I'm pretty dang sure that it's not gonna help. I discovered yesterday that the hemp oil does resist the wax, so that's probably not good for me today. But it is good for keeping it off of the painted wood, because I don't want that to be waxed. I'll tell you what, I have learned a whole lot in every project, which can only help me. And it also tests my patience. Well, I think it may have worked. All right, I'm gonna do the whole drawer. It turns out that the white wax on its own, I didn't even need the clear wax. It worked beautifully. It was exactly what I was thinking. The wax is a consistency much like a paste. It was very easy to apply. I used just a clean, dry rag and a nice big brush. The silver hardware looked really nice with the light colored wood. I was really pleased with how it all turned out. I wanted to use the Big Mama's Butta on the inside of the drawers because I knew it would condition the wood and make them smell good. Because I liked the wallpaper effect so much, I decided to cut out a little bit so that I could embellish the top drawer of the dresser. I wanted it to match the rest of the dresser, so I painted it with the Country Chic piece of cake. I just gave my leaves another coat, and I even made sure that the sides were painted because there wouldn't be anything I could do once I put it down. Just like I did with the wallpaper on the sides of the dresser, I put wallpaper paste on the back of my leaves, and then I sanded the drawer just to get some of that wax off. So I wanted to make sure that it would adhere to the wood. And then I just pressed it down with a clean rag, and and as I put in the last drawer, there's only 2 more things that I need to do. The top 2 knobs. I decided to paint the wooden knobs silver with the same Rustoleum silver and cut out with an X-Acto knife more of the wallpaper, little tiny leaves, and use wallpaper paste again and press them on. It worked just fine. I did put some Big Mama's Butta on the top of the leaves, but for extra protection, I did add some Mod Podge that I had just to coat them, to protect them a little bit more. Overall, I don't think I could have asked for a better outcome. I really am very happy with the results. Well, that's all I have for you today. I hope you enjoyed that roller coaster ride as much as I did. Yes, I did enjoy it. Yes, there were some frustrating moments, but the best part is I was problem solving, and I love to problem solve. Don't ever, ever, ever stop yourself from doing something because you're afraid you're gonna make a mistake. Mistakes are why you learn. Yeah, there's some situations where you're not quite sure what to do, but there's the internet. You should always be able to figure it out somehow. So don't be afraid. Don't be paralyzed by something you don't know how to do. And don't forget, you got me. You got my YouTube channel, so don't forget to subscribe. See you next time.